Welcome.
I'm with
Welcome to Istanbul.
my friend, Memo.
Yes, and it's very kind of Devin to visit all the way, and we're about to enjoy a Turkish ravioli treat, hopefully curative. It's a rainy day in Istanbul, the final days of March in 2026. So there. I mean, there's just so you've been like really squeezing in a lot of adventures into this past how many days?
It's been like today's day 8.
Okay,
So we squeezed maybe about 2 or 3 weeks into.
Yeah. I don't think this is the last time you're here.
No, hopefully not.
Yeah.
I would love to come back. So is this improv?
Improv Cappadocia. Yes.
Nice.
There's
A
tree.
reference.
Yeah. Yeah, I was inspired by
That's
the
me.
shots in
Here.
the background. Yeah. No, I got it.
Yeah.
Improv Cappadocia.
Yeah.
I usually sketch away while talking, so
Yeah.
you'll have plenty of
I love that.
opportunities for this. Sağ ol abi. Oh. So this is my gift stash to Devin. So here we go. We have 2 original watercolors. May they bring color and light into your life. They're signed front and back. Oh well, this isn't signed at the back. So let me correct that. So these are from 2 years ago. Okay. 24. Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah. So this is from 2 years ago. Then there's another small painting which is acrylics on cardboard. So it's more painterly, and in a cool frame this will be valuable. And then there's today's sketches, including the ink nib turned into a snake, and then some Cappadocian improvisation, and then a mask, and then a weird
AI bed.
created real estate monstrosity.
Yes,
So-
very timely.
Yeah. Today's haul. Plus I have
Good haul.
Yeah. I have this a poster from 2018.
I'm gonna take a selfie for that.
So there's like lots of figures in here in the forest. And then from an exhibit I had way back, I think 2015, so 11 years ago. And this was just about rebirth and the other world, you know. So it's like there's a demon lusting after somebody who's died or something like that.
Oh,
So there's that.
that is sick.
Yeah. Plus, there's my second gift print. So this is actually the second time I sent you one, but you know, can't have too much of a good thing.
Exactly.
And a signed copy of All Tomorrows, which was the Future Evolution book that catapulted me into global fame. And all the freaks and weirdos and like
And friends.
and friends and sketches and yeah,
Amazing book.
it's a known quantity. It is what it is. But thank you.
It's mind blowing.
As the saying goes, what a nice days like this will be remembered for 4 decades to come. So it's a Turkish proverb.
Yep.
Yes.
What he said.
Şerefe. Yes. So when I was in the UK, I went to the Tate Museum, Tate Britain, and saw the work of Francis Bacon, the British painter known for his like weird distorted portraits.
Yeah, that's a familiar name.
Almost a surrealist in himself. So Bacon, when you see the paintings, he throws everything onto the canvas. Like there's dust, there's acrylics, there's watercolors, there's gouache, everything. So I wanted to have something pitifully like that, where I have these cotton papers and I can throw everything on them. So yeah. So now.
Do you like my tripod?
No, that's a very functional tripod. So charcoal melts into everything else, and then when I'm home, I put some hairspray on this bad boy.
And that's kind of like a sealant.
So it makes it all stay in place here.
So you would call that a charcoal pen to get the like that outline.
Oh, that's a charcoal pencil. Yes, it's
Charcoal pencil.
It's this thing, the Koh-i-Noor thing.
Nice.
It's just like any other piece of charcoal. It's just like set in a pencil,
Yeah.
so it doesn't mess up my bag when I carry it.
Mm. I kind of want to explore animation with charcoal pencils.
Yeah, you get like animator's paper and like there's all these smudges.
Yeah.
And like when it's on 12 FPS.
But probably like, and maybe like cell animation, like draw the things, put them on the background.
Yeah.
But that would just purely be for the art of it, not for any monetary.
Well, I think you can have sequences like that in your film when
Yeah.
it's about the spirit and everything. So these pencils, they're like a joke. They're like a toy almost. They have all these like different colors mixed in as one lead,
Oh,
but they're actually great for accents.
so is this some sort of mammalian creature?
I think it's it's an allegory of my awful armpit sores. But no, I took some painkillers. They really help.
Nice.
Okay, now this is the main figure is down. So let's give him. What color is this?
This is a weird question,
Yes.
but it's kind of philosophical.
There's no weird questions with me. Fire ahead.
Do you think that in terms of the way that like physical matter and like the way life expresses itself on Earth is more of like a manifestation of like a higher dimensional kind of ethereal space and it's like archetypes from there, or that Earth is maybe a bit of in a vacuum and that it's just the way that the chemicals aligned here?
I think life, certainly the operative thing with life is will and the spirit.
Yeah.
Even like you can even integrate this without breaking Darwinian evolution. So for example, when an animal becomes, let's say, a fish parasite, I was told about this from a parasitologist. So usually they come from the animals that the fish eat. But something happens and instead of running away from the fish, they run into the fish
Yeah.
and take the fight to the fish. So it clearly shows that even if it's like blind mutations accumulating, you also need like behavioral change to make that mutations viable.
Mm-hmm.
And where does the behavioral change come from? It comes from like the being's own willpower, basically. Like it's so like imagine there's like lots of animals which would later be whales. Some of them mutate and have shorter legs. That's useless if the animal doesn't want to go into the sea first. So like the behavioral change comes probably even before the genetic change. So in little things like that, I think you can see that life is driven, evolution is driven by individual behavior and maybe even something like willpower. Maybe not Nietzschean will to power, but like the way you act comes first is all I'm saying. So in that respect, I think life becomes a vessel for expression of the spirit or the will or behavior, call it what you want. And I think this is definitely true. Whether that spirit comes from a layer that's behind this reality or whether it's intrinsic, I don't know. But it's very certain to see that life forms have this initiative in behavior, which nobody really knows where it comes from. And that's my understanding of the thing. So there's definitely like a spiritual raison d'être to life. Certainly like a spiritual impetus to life. But it's uncertain if that's like reflects like reality behind this one.
Right.
I kind of sense that is the case, but I think the only way I'll be able to prove or disprove it is when I see it for myself. But to be true, I mean, like, the more you look at this, like, oh, it's all matter, it's all like chemicals theory, the more it falls apart.
The way certain elements synchronize makes it almost feel spiritual.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things do have like physical and chemical mechanisms, but the main thrust of the matter is still like something intrinsic. And nobody knows where it comes from. I think my understanding is that, like, I'll give you this handkerchief. Where's my special? So I think there's this reservoir of spiritual awareness sometimes, and it kind of trickles through. It uses life forms to cross over into our universe. So like, this could be a plant, a man, a bacterium, a worm. They all get their agency through this other realm, which is pure spirit. This is just based on intuitive vibes, to be honest.
Sure.
But for this to work out, I think all living things are ensouled, even bacteria.
Yeah.
Because you look at them, there's a distinct difference between living things and non-living things. But among living things, there's no graduation. Like, you can see how bacteria join into small cells. You can see how small cells kind of live like tiny creatures, and they retain memory and stuff. And once again, nobody knows how.
Like an amoeba basically functions as a single cellular animal.
And they have memory and like
like aversions and know where to go. And so then what would that mean for something like us that's made up of almost an infinite amount of things as complex as that?
It's like that, but I think we have a broader bandwidth, but it's a sliding scale. I mean, I mean, maybe the brain is a modem and not a CPU.
I wonder where it'll lead.
We all will find out. May it be. I don't know. But I feel definitely that this is not the whole story.
Yeah.
But it might be that when you pass away, it might be that you return to the reservoir and you kind of lose your personality.
If you're good.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that kind of like a trans-dimensional ego death.
yeah, exactly. And I don't know, if you have like such a strong character in this world, maybe you're able to retain some shapes from it in the spirit realm.
Like a force ghost.
Yeah. Or yeah, and then project it back. Or project
That would
bits
be
and
cool.
pieces of it back.
Huh.
Anyways, this was our ego death team creature.
Oh, that is beautifully bizarre.
Yeah. There needs to have something more, so I'm gonna give it like some spots. I also can mix up.
It's making me think of a mite with that claw.
Yeah.
A bunch of those all over the table.
It's the breasts and the stinger too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is more of a like symbolic thing than a real creature.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a place to be in the rain, huh?
Oh yeah.
I don't want to be at a place that blasts like bad music.
Yeah.
So
They kind of force an atmosphere.
yeah.
Do fans ever ask you religious questions?
Sometimes I answer them. Turkish fans want to know if I'm Muslim,
Mm-hmm.
and I say that like I'm registered as one in Turkish population records,
But are probably smart.
but
Yeah.
I don't really like. Don't get me wrong. I respect
I can cut it anytime.
immensely, but
I can cut the camera anytime.
no, I get this all done. It's nothing I wouldn't say in public.
Yeah.
I respect it immensely. It's something that I just don't feel in me.
Mm.
But I think like there is something, like you said, these like sentimental places or these profound places, like you certainly get that at some of the legacy mosques. Anatolian versions of Islam are actually very heterodox and very interesting. But yeah, I don't fancy myself a practicing Jew either, but I know I'm definitely a genetic one.
Yeah.
Like I took a DNA test at 75% Ashkenaz,
Mm.
which is wild.
Yeah, that's more than me.
Yeah.
I'm 50% because I'm Italian.
Well, it's like, so I don't know how that connection comes. I think my mother's side is definitely crypto-Jewish, but it looks like my father's mother may also have had such a connection, and these people kind of pool together in Turkish society because of like shared lifestyles and like just community links. But I mean, my father's mom was buried as a Muslim, but like when I look at her pictures, okay, the face is there, and it's just an interesting thing.
It is interesting what the idea of God inspires people to do or make, which I feel like there's some sentimental meaning to that.
Yeah.
If this is how this idea is manifesting physically, there's a presence there, but it's filtered through the conceptions of what we can.
I mean, for example, the nice thing about Islam in Turkey is that we crossed the mosque back there.
Yeah.
That thing is like 400 years old. So for 4 centuries, same part of the city has been alive through public space given to that religion. So I think that's a neat thing.
Yeah.
I also think like, you know how you can be culturally Catholic or culturally Muslim.
Right.
I think that's a healthy thing because
Yeah.
in this age it fosters community with one's like family, and it's like really needed in a time of social media breakdown. But I do have problems with organized religion when it's used in a cultish way. Like there are also like a number of really nasty Turkish cults where they like, you would never see these in Istanbul or even the smaller cities, but some way out there in the boondocks, there are these places where and they brainwash kids and they essentially operate as voting blocks. And
Yeah. I think religion gets ugly to me when it's politicized on any front.
and like some of the coolest people I've known have like come out of that background but have like broken that mold,
Yeah.
and they're like very sharp and yeah.
Yeah.
So now but in Turkey usually like people are very cool with religion. And if you look at there's like crop tops and hijabs, and
Yeah.
sometimes like there's even like groups of friends like, okay, you be the hot one tonight.
Yeah.
I'll wear the hijab or whatever.
Wow.
That's very rare, but it's been known to happen.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, like at least in Turkey, there's not much of a problem with like secular. They used to make a big deal out of it. It's like, Turkey, secularism versus religion, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
No, actually, in the same family, you usually have the mother may wear a hijab, and the father might be from a religious background, but then the kids are like very secular.
Yeah.
In fact, like especially when it comes to women, the most liberated women come from religious families because maybe they had to struggle to break that mold, or maybe just families let their kids do whatever they want. I mean, it's that's basically.
How much would you say that Istanbul has intertwined itself or helped create your creative sensibilities? Or
Yes, I mean, I think it's I like the fact that like there could be like a rundown hardware shop, and the building it is in is actually 300 years old. That's like a big influence of like layered civilizations,
yeah.
and it's not always a progression either. So there's that. Not just Istanbul, but all of Turkey basically inspires me in that regard.
Yeah.
Plus,
Wow.
I like Turkish cities were the OG walkable cities, you know, especially like downtown parts like this one here. You can really find everything you need, like within 10 minutes of walking. Like go to a lawyer, or buy a raincoat, or go do your grocery at the same time. The homes are upstairs, although that might seem constraining to somebody used to living in houses. It actually feels like weirdly safer when you grow up there. But yeah, I also like this comes from like basically a graceless lack of planning. But there's like weird textures all over the place, and you kind of like it trains you. Living here trains your eye to like notice those weird unplanned details everywhere.
Right.
It's actually a defect, but I mean, I think to a tolerable degree, it really adds a lot to life. I Like with a zoom camera, you can zoom into any corner here and take very
Find almost
impactful scenes.
some unique expression.
Yeah, look at this. Awesome though. So we were talking about how basically the entirety of Gen Z and younger is locked in a sort of techno feudalist gig slavery,
Yes.
and the boomer generation controls an unfathomable majority of all the wealth, not just money or houses, but all the wealth, which is obscene. And I think so. We were talking about these, then the big challenge of the age is to hold on to the capital which will shower down from the boomers when their generation dies, essentially. Hold on to that and not have that fall in the hands of BlackRock or multinational companies.
The parent companies of parent companies.
Yeah. And I mean, there's few like direct things which could make things easier for everybody, and these solutions, I think, are not rooted in any particular ideology, but they must be novel and simple things. And I actually have a couple of ideas. So these are my ideas to save the world. One, companies which trade directly to the customer cannot be publicly owned. Sorry, cannot be like publicly traded. So they can't be stock or shareholder value companies. So like if you're McDonald's, you're selling to the end consumer, you have to, no stocks, no shareholders. A family can hold it or whatever. But this would like eliminate that drive to screw over the customer for shareholder value.
Right.
You still need shareholder operated companies for B2B companies, for like steel ore mining, or like so when you get raw materials or shipment, like that's what the whole stock system evolved out of. Like you had 100 people pitching in to buy a ship and operate that. That's understandable, but it's another thing if that reaches the end consumer. So that's my number one recommendation. My number two recommendation is that there has to be a cap on home ownership. I think it could vary by state and region, but like maximum 2 homes per individual, and no company must be allowed to own.
Like preventing Wall Street from buying up lots of
that's
cheap
just
land and homes.
obscene, I think.
Right.
I mean, within that framework, you don't need to like eliminate capitalism or like free market trading. In fact, the very state this has gotten to is against free market principles. But you need some like very simple and iron regulations, which nobody has the guts to try out, it seems.
Seems like lately administrations are heading into the direction of decentralization, less control, kind of free for all.
Yes.
Money tells all.
I mean, that's like Trump is a very, like, the whole generation is very old, and they think that, if you just, it's the old liberalist or liberal wet dream. If you remove all the guidelines, it will be faster. I think, everything needs to be restructured in a way that establishes some like glass floor limits for like, so like it's probably fantastic to give everybody a free house, but there must also be caps on rents, I think. Ideally, like a month's rent should be like $200, or you
Ideally,
yeah. So like you should still work a little to make it, but it shouldn't bleed you dry.
right?
I mean, it should be capped at that, because, I mean, at the bottom of it, all money and most of economics are a fiction. Um, I understand why there might be a need to give people some impetus to work,
But the
but
resources are
it's
there.
beyond that now. Yes, yes.
Yes. No. It becomes a way of maintaining and extrapolating the status to make people more powerful.
I used to think that the way out was like some sort of basic universal income, but I understood that this would later just lead to inflation down the
Right,
line,
that
and
would-
controls on the price and quality of food. I think, look, food must be regulated. Okay, nobody's going to lose out on
In
it.
my country, it's not.
Yeah, no. Nobody's
there's-
going to lose out on a liberal utopia if they're prevented from pumping porn starch into everything. You know?
It is weirdly makes me feel conspiratorial. Where
Yeah.
the same products, same companies produce, Fruit Loops in Europe don't have all the dyes and chemicals that the Fruit Loops
No,
for
actually-
Americans have.
Yeah, and we are recording in Turkey for posterity, but like same here. Like, I get a Snickers bar here.
Yeah.
I go to my wife in Germany, get a Snickers bar there. The German Snickers bar, we literally compare these.
Yeah.
The German Snickers bar is like 60% cocoa. Turkish Snickers bar is 45% cocoa. And there's, I think, limitations imposed by the states on, like, if you say this is a chocolate bar, this must be the minimum amount of chocolate in it. Like, I know it's like a bit boring and like too nitty gritty, but I think in terms of food regulation, it's a must. Access to, I think, the way cities are built is a whole other ball game in the US. I think, like, even if you got like I never understood for the life of me. Okay, you may not like apartments, I understand that, but like if there's 5 suburban houses, the 6th one could be a shop, or and that would like help out so much, like reduce car dependency and stuff.
Or to have designated farming plots for vegetables in a neighborhood, or anything like that. to
True.
give people, a sense
And
of
America produces so much food. It's like
right.
one of the now, like,
But it's isolated away from the people. So you have to
it's like
participate in the monetary
in a
system.
different realm.
Yeah. One thing I noticed here is that when I was in Prague, and I was there for a little while, there were a bunch of different food brands that I've never seen before that were unique to that area. Here in Istanbul, all the food brands I've seen are the same that I've seen at home in America for snacks and those kinds of products.
Yeah. So
Which is interesting to me.
it's not like Cargill, the big US food and sugar company. They signed a big deal with the Turkish government 10 years ago or something, and then there's a lot of local brands too. Also, the great thing about Turkey is like you have greengrocers everywhere. You notice like just fruit and vegetables on the street. So
Right.
actually, on the way back, we're gonna get some.
Nice.
All right, so this is my out-of-body nightmare experience. So I wake up in this parched room and everything is realer than real, and this doctor entity is there. I challenge it, saying, "I don't believe you. You. Who are you? Where did you come from?" So apparently, if you ask, this is a practice from schizophrenia patients, that if you ask them about their origins, they fumble. So I tried doing that, but it says no. I have to they lower some sort of like spinning dentist's drill kind of thing to my head.
Oh shit.
I was like, I took it.
Yeah.
The instrument, I could see like it's spinning.
And it felt like a real object.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, fuck this. I'll do it myself. I stuck it here. I woke up, this time in my bedroom,
Yeah.
but I'm paralyzed for 5 minutes.
Oh.
Then I have a horrible headache exactly here
Shit.
where I stabbed the thing. And then I get up and I have a scintillating scotoma, which is like a headache hallucination you sometimes get.
Unpleasant.
Yeah, you start seeing like a shimmering, like there's a shimmering blur. It grows.
Yeah.
It's usually accompanied by a localized headache, and it disappears. So I had that. Then my day truly began, and I'm like so fucking scared. It's like 6 a.m. And then it was really like raw. And I never had a dream like this. And I wake up, I go online, I don't want to message my wife because I'm scared that it would worry her. So I kind of, this is funny, but I masturbated to feel better. I did.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. It's one use of porn. And then, anyways, my day began. But okay, here's the kicker. Two kickers, in fact. One, for a week before this incident, I was listening to there's these like CIA meditation tapes called the Gateway tapes. They're free on YouTube. So I was listening to those and like proceeding with them.
A week before.
Yeah. So there's like numbers of tapes, and
This is public.
this is public. It's called the Gateway tapes. And this was the set of tapes that the CIA used for meditation.
So like
For-
astral projection.
They use that in that weird line of research, but
Yeah.
they also use it for agents to relax on the field or whatever.
Okay.
So actually, it's tape by tape. So the first two tapes, actually, they made me relax so much, and I slept in a way like I never did before. And the third tape was about like creating a shield around you, which is ridiculous. But anyways, then on the fourth day, this happened. So either I was really influenced by these tapes and the associated folklore,
Right.
or by meditating that way, I really had like opened a channel for some malign entity to pass through.
You went through the red door.
Yes,
Have you seen Insidious?
No, but I've heard the red door reference,
Yeah.
or sometimes it's the blue door. Anyways, and also a couple of years later, like this year, I read a book about. So there's this compendium of demonology,
Yeah.
which is like things written about demons and associated subjects by people in the ancient world, in the medieval era, up until the present day. But the good thing about this book is it's a collection of abstracts, and the author doesn't say, "Oh, this is what the demons are." This is what it says. No, it's like in Alexandria in 200 AD, this was written about demons. Whatever. Some of them is bullshit, but one of them was exactly about like saying demons have no corporeal bodies. That's why they can change shape. If you try to ground them in our reality, they're scared and they disperse. So maybe there are entities like this, which the ancients called demons and people today call aliens.
Right.
And maybe was like my close encounter with one.
Maybe.
I was so like everything I told you, including this abduction dream, and then earlier on those like family insights and stuff, they have like convinced me that I'm a rational guy, but I'm indulging this irrationality for myself. It's my treat to myself.
Yeah.
It's kind of like formed the foundation of this like that this universe rests on like a sea of spirit particles, or like
The void?
or like a realm of entities that are purely spiritual or whatever.
Kind of like a sea of everything.
Not everything.
Not everything.
I think like what happens in this rule is by the rules of this world. That's pretty certain. But as I discussed earlier, the prime motivation even of evolution is behavior. So like
An iceberg on an ocean.
yeah, exactly. So there. These are my mystical insights.
Sick.
I know how you probably had more profound experiences than I did.
I had this weird idea of like, you know, I feel like there's a lot of assumptions about the idea of like the grand consciousness of God. This is like becoming a little more heady, but
No, do go.
I had this like kind of visualization of imagining that like, and this also kind of conflicts from what my Muslim friend Abdel described to me as. He was like, God isn't everything, kind of like that Buddhist hippie idea where everything is God. He was very direct that God is intangible and separate from creation, and that it's an entity beyond it. Versus, I feel like it's kind of a hippie idea to be like everything together, creation is God. But the idea that like all of our reality, visualizing that as like a white ball of light. And that white ball of light encapsulates everything and beyond, and control and dominion over, being God. But then imagining that ball of light is like a star in a night sky, and there's other stars.
Yeah, heady stuff. Well, that's the thing with all like these metaphysical thought exercises, because like you can postulate schemes that explain the workings of intuitive weirdness, but it also kicks the can down the road. Because like if there's a world of spirits under this material world, what's under the spirit world? Is it God? But like,
yeah.
So that's bizarre,
and then what's under, you know?
Yeah.
And you know,
I think it's facile to think that this is the only level of creation.
It's a little bit presumptuous.
Yes. Although this level of creation has its rules and they seem to be consistent.
Right. But it feels like that consistency is, it's almost like your isopod container. Like it's in the confines.
Exactly. And beyond that, no one knows. So that's the weird thing. Like if we imagine this notion of spirit particles and in another afterlife, making up a sort of spiritual cosmos, then there could be purely spiritual entities, and among them there could be such enormously complicated things that you could call them gods. Could be a master of the whole, like there could be something bigger outside of that, but then there could be something bigger outside of
like,
him.
Kind of like Brahmin and Devas.
Maybe true, but I'm not very well versed in Buddhism to understand that analogy. But here's what I think. Going back at this thing, God could be an extraneous spiritual force that holds this reality together like a bunch of trusses.
Yeah.
It remembers the location of every particle. So it's distinct from this weird spirity world, which is just sludge and everything.
It has
goes.
Consistency.
But actually God is closer.
Continuity.
Yeah. But actually God is closer to our reality because it keeps everything every particle in the same place. It remembers everybody's like location and intent and vector and azimuth and so on. So maybe in that respect, God is closer to our reality. And this is just anarchy. Or like sludge. So yeah. I have to take this.
Yeah.
Hello.